Well, for those just joining us, welcome to Jack V. Murphy Stadium, home of the Gladewater Bears, as we got an interesting matchup here tonight on a beautiful night here in Gladewater. West Rusk coming into town to take on the Gladewater Bears, the red-hot Gladewater Bears, I should say, coming into this game 2-0, jumping up big time on our radar here. A little surprise for me coming into the stadium, or coming into the year. They jumped up, beat Dangerfield, which was on our Fab 15, top 15 teams of the year. And then last week, taking a big-time beating to New Diana, who's reeling a little bit, but still a big-time win. One of the ones you want to see early on in the season, just like this. I'm Jimmy Searfoss on call tonight here in Gladewater for the game. Like I said, beautiful night. Sun was peeking through pretty hard earlier today when I first got here. Got me sweating up a storm here in a high 80-degree day, but it's gone behind the clouds a little bit. So we've got a pleasant night here. Hopefully it'll go over the trees or under the trees as we move later into this ball game. 10:56 left to play here. Gladewater received to open up the ball game. They currently have it on 3rd and 7 around their own 35. Now, a lot of these teams like to run the ball, but this one's going to get passed down the line for the first down before the receiver immediately gets blown up. That was number 4, Caleb Balcorda. Now, a lot of times when you talk about an Achilles, you're talking about a weakness for a team, but for the Gladewater Bears, that's one of their strengths. A quarterback named Achilles. One of the biggest parts of this offense is hasn't thrown the ball a ton this year, just 7 times, make it 8 on that pass. But he's been effective when he does. 4 for 7, 76 yards and 2 touchdowns. Run-heavy offense for the Bears here. Gladewater not quite the same, or West Rusk not quite the same, as that handoff is going to be stopped right around the line of scrimmage. Achilles coming to the sideline, getting the play from his offensive coordinator. Gladewater Bears, coached by Jermaine A. Lewis, someone who's been around East Texas for a long time. In fact, it said that he coached some of these guys' parents when they were kids. Recently named the head football coach and AD, though. Spent time at places like Pine Tree, East Texas teams. 2nd down and 10. Hand off to the fullback, or he pulls it back and keeps it himself. Achilles going to make his way upfield for about 4 yards. West Rusk, though, no pushovers themselves. They're 1-1 in the year, coming off of a win to Diboll. Started off the year with a tough opponent. They played the number 1 team at the time in East Texas, the Malakoff Tigers, who just are coming off of a championship game. Actually, just recently were knocked out of that first spot in our Fab 15 poll by the Westwood Panthers down in Palestine. 3rd down and 6. We're going to have our first timeout of the ball game. And the Bears will be going back and figuring out where they want to go from here. But West Rusk, one of my favorite jersey uniform combos in East Texas. The light blue, classy-looking helmets. They're rocking the white jerseys with the light blue pants. Gladewater, all black and orange. I'll tell you what, things get significantly cooler when that sun's not out. Beautiful night here, though. Beautiful night. And you know what? This just kicks off a pretty big-time week of football here on CBS 19. Tomorrow, we're going to be out at the renewed Lake Tyler rivalry between White House and Chapel Hill. And then we'll also have our game of the week, Van taking on Lindale. Those two teams looking to stay undefeated, both of them 2-0. Lindale looking really good early on in the season. Their quarterback getting mature, coming into the year after having some growing issues, but he was a young guy. Now he's getting older, and you got a guy like Emilian Johnson to hand it off to. Makes things easy for you. Plus, they got a defensive line that's meaner than mean. Well, we're back to it here in Gladewater. 3rd and 6. They're going to go with the screen The ink pass is complete. Turns up field for a first down. The pass to Aubrey Floyd. You know, like I said, they don't pass a ton, but it's been effective when they do. I mean, last game, Achilles Hess, the quarterback, just 3 attempts. Did have 2 completions on that, though. 2 of them were touchdowns. Floyd did have one of those 2 receptions last game. Good for 27 yards and a touchdown. Achilles keeps it himself. Nice solid pickup there. Will be around the first down. Eight minutes left to go in this first quarter. 2nd down and 4. Well, there's just about one line that's the biggest difference between the Chicago Bears and the Gladewater Bears logo. Just so happens to be the same one that makes something a G rather than a C. Nice crowd packed out tonight on homecoming for the Gladewater Bears. So we did see some mums out, some mums bigger than some of the people I've seen tonight. I remember those days. 2 receivers set. They're going to hand it off to the running back. He's going to fall forward for a few yards. Not quite the first down. That would be 21. Cooper Carson. One of the favorites on this offense. Carson comes into the game with 22 carries and 226 yards. Scored twice on the year so far. Expect to hear his name a whole lot tonight. West Rusk has a real nice stadium out there in West Rusk. One of the tougher names to say in East Texas. They're the West Rusk Raiders. I haven't messed up yet, but I promise I will. Here comes the 3rd down snap right into the pile. There's Cooper again. Cooper Carson advances the chains for the Bears. Slowly making their way downfield. Last week we covered Tatum and their big-time win over Dangerfield. Tatum and Gladewater in that same district, 3A district. They'll have a good face-off later. Tatum's got a big-time matchup this week as well. They play Newton. Gladewater. Caleb Balcorda down the screen, but they're going to hand it off up the middle for a small gain. These Gladewater Bears play in Jack V. Murphy Stadium. He is a Texas High School Coaches Association Hall of Famer from way back in the day. Coached these Gladewater Bears some part of the time up the road where you can see the memorial for the old Gladewater Bears Stadium. They retired in 1983. This place is pretty nice. Jack V. Murphy had some over 200 wins here in Gladewater, as this play is going to go ahead for a few more yards, rush up the middle. Tough to see in the pile who that was, but it'll be 3rd down and short. Gladewater bleeds a ton of time off the clock here, with Mr. Hess coming back to the sidelines every other play to go get the play from his coordinator. Definitely want to control the time. Gladewater coming off of a bit of a rough year. This one's going to go to Cooper up the middle. He's going to extend for as much as he can. Looks like he got enough for the first down. Gave a little late push there. Excuse me, that's not Cooper. That's Jeremiah Flanagan. He's going to advance the chains. So we have 1st and goal for the first time tonight. Gladewater, one receiver on each end of the ball, each end of the field, as Cooper's going to get blown up behind the line of scrimmage off the handoff. West Rusk showing out tonight. Packed that other side of the stadium. This is my second time I've actually been here this year. Big Sandy played Winona here earlier on in the season. Winona came away with the win there. Smaller football. 2nd and 9. This one's going a whole lot of nowhere. A lot of white jerseys met the ball carrier at the line. That was number 28 again, Jeremiah Flanagan. Not going nowhere. Ton of time shaved off on this drive. There's just 3:35 left to go in this first quarter. Can you believe that? One drive. That's what that slow running game will do. Shaved off nearly 10 whole minutes in one drive. Achilles under center, handing it off to a new man. Doesn't have a different result. That's Trey Watts. All of a sudden, 3 minutes left to go in this ball game, or this first quarter. Sunset peeking out tonight. Jermaine A. Lewis, head coach of the Gladewater Bears. Like I said, been around East Texas, from East Texas. Actually played at Kilgore College, but he played basketball. Actually played basketball over at UNLV as well earlier on in life. Achilles fakes the handoff, looks for the end zone, passes out. He's got a man wide open in the end zone all by himself. That's Kason Harris for the touchdown. The long drive pays off. Nearly takes off 10 whole minutes. There's just 2:30 left to play in the quarter. And it looks like the Gladewater Bears want 2. Odd formation. Snapping into it. Direct snap to number 6. He's going to push on in. Number 6, Jacoby Crosby. The Bears jump out to an early lead, 8-0. Well, they beat New Diana 43-15. I don't know. They're going to have to pick up the pace a little bit if they're going to reach that score. West Rusk hasn't even touched the ball in this first quarter yet. It is the homecoming game, like I said, for these Gladewater Bears. Spoke to a teacher, actually, in the independent school district in the parking lot today. He said, "What brought you out today?" He said, "This is home." He said, "No matter where you go, home is home." So now we'll see a West Rusk offense coming out of New London, Texas, who looks quite a bit different on the stat sheet than the Gladewater Bears. A lot more receiving. Don't get me wrong, they rush the ball, but they like to toss it around a little bit more as well under head coach Rafe Mata. You know, oddly enough, this is a bit of a milestone game for me. This is the first game I ever got highlights from last year, as the onside kick's going to get swallowed up by the West Rusk Raiders. I did recently just come up on my 1-year anniversary with CBS 19. Very proud to be here out in East Texas, Beast, Texas. West Rusk, the offense comes out onto the field. Judson Dotson, the quarterback for him. 6'1", 175. 3 receivers down to his right, but this one's going to get handed off. He's going to bounce around to the outside corner before he gets swallowed up. Who is it? Number 21, Dylan Williams. Williams listed at 5'10", 175. rushed for 135 yards last game. He's going to get it on the option, but the pullback was not in time. He was hit before he even got the ball all the way out of his hands. It'll be 3rd down and 6 after losing a few yards on that play. The sun's starting to go down, and actually it's a very pleasant evening here in Gladewater. Both these teams 3A schools. You're going to pull back on this one. He wants his man downfield, but that one's going to be thrown out of bounds. Dotson was searching for his man, working towards the sideline, wasn't able to hit him. Tight coverage there from the Gladewater Bears, and not what you wanted to see out of your offense. Didn't even make it past the sticks. Quick 3 and out there for the West Rusk Raiders. Not something that they can sustain for long if they want to hang around this ball game, because this first quarter is already almost over. 1:26 left to go as the punt crew is going to make it out onto the field. Cameron Brown, big leg on him. That one's going to go out around the 50, take a big-time Raider hop, and it's going to take a few Raider hops. It's going to bounce out of bounds around the 30-yard line. Great punt from Cameron. So West Rusk going to have a few more yards than last time to make it downfield. 1:14 left to go in this first quarter. These Gladewater Bears like to spread it out a little bit, but Carson Cooper, he's gotten a bunch of those handoffs today, and he got 10 of them last time. He had a touchdown in that last game against New Diana and 146 yards on the ground. He's got a big-time offensive line in front of him. That's 73 out there. Talon Robinson, that's a big man. First down for the Bears. Here's the handoff. Achilles pulls it back, beats a few men before getting wrapped up around the logo. Big time pickup for Achilles Hess. Hess can move himself a little bit. He's got 84 yards on the season and 3 tutties on 10 carries. Last game, picked up 46 yards of his own. And there it is. We're within a minute left in this first quarter. They're just taking their time. First and 10, just past the logo, on the 45-yard line of the Raiders. Fakes the handoff. Hess wants it downfield. He's got his man off the helmet. Nearly intercepted by the West Rusk Raiders. He was looking for Aubrey Floyd downfield. Aubrey, excuse me. He had a one-on-one action there for a split second before he didn't. And all of a sudden, the safety was right there. Nearly secured the tip drill. Showed us why the tip drill was so important. Instead, it'll be 2nd and 10, and for the first time in a while, the Bears stopped the clock with that incompletion. We got an orange sunset here at Jack Murphy Stadium. See if we can show it here. Gorgeous time of day as the option's going to go out, but not go very upfield. That was the option to Carson Cooper. And that's going to be the last play of the half. So 1.5 drives pretty much takes us into the second quarter here. Gladewater Bears up 8-0 over the Raiders early on. We're going to take a short break here on CBS 19 Stream Game of the Week. I'll be right back. All right, welcome back to the Stream Game of the Week. I'm Jimmy Searfoss here at West Rusk versus Gladewater at Jack V. Murphy Stadium on a gorgeous night, a gorgeous Thursday night, just kicking us off on CBS 19's coverage under the lights. Got some big-time games going on tomorrow. Our game of the week, Lindale versus Van. One game that I will want to keep my eyes on as the field flips here for the number 8 Gladewater Bears. Hess rolling out to his right, looks over the middle, puts a lot of heat on it, but wasn't enough to get corralled in. He wanted number 2, Destin Sheridan, on that pass. We've seen the Gladewater Bears throw it a little bit more than usual tonight against West Rusk. That one, he had the man open. The throw was a little off. Also had a lot of heat on it. Receiver just wasn't able to make the adjustments in the amount of time given with that heat. Speaking of heat, we're losing it here. Starting to cool down mightily as that sun makes its way down. So it'll be third down and 21. I might have missed a penalty there. We're going to have a timeout called. The number 34 wild for the Gladewater Bears last game. Total rushing yards, 334. Total passing yards, 34. Now, if I told you the amount of touchdowns they had rushing and passing was 34 and 3 and 4, I'd go buy a lottery ticket. But no, it's 3 and 4. Speaking of lottery tickets, I did not win my Powerball, unfortunately, as you can tell, because if I did, I wouldn't be doing this. I'd still be doing this. So third down and 21, 11:55 to go. Gladewater with the ball. Facing a long third down for the first time tonight. Those run-heavy offenses, this is the time where it gets a little tricky for them. Here comes the pass from Hess. Over the middle, still gets his receiver, Aubrey Floyd, hit hard on the incompletion. The pass was just a little bit high over the middle. Wasn't able to come down with it. Would have been a tough one regardless with the hit that was waiting for him right over the middle. Like I said, though, both these teams have faced off with each other before. Last year, these two played each other. West Rusk took the... Gladewater took the dub there, 32-20. And here comes the punt for the Bears. This one gets some hang time for it. Fair catch called, but it's going to take a Bear bounce, big-time Bear bounce, down by the 20. So the two punts we've seen tonight, both of them pretty effective. West Rusk will have some work to do working its way downfield. These Raiders, though, did make the playoffs. They're actually on a 10-year playoff streak. 10 straight appearances from the Raiders, who went 6-6 last year. No, sorry, excuse me, 4-7 last year. 3-3 in district. It was enough to squeak in. A lot of times you'll see something like that. Those smaller districts, or you get 4 teams in. Here comes the handoff. Going to try to work through the pile there. That one will go nowhere. That was Dylan Williams. So for the first time tonight, West Rusk controls the clock. So they're starting way on the other end of the field. They're on the 21-yard line, their own 21-yard line. Motion comes in from the tight end into the slot. Hand off to Dylan again. This one not going anywhere, going backwards. A Bear pops out with the ball. Referee said, no, he's down. A lot of backwards movement for the West Rusk Raiders. These Bears are all over that running attack. 3rd and 12 for Dotson. Judson Dotson, as somebody jumped early. Who is it? Ref's coming up to the center to decide. Looks like it was on the Bears, and we will have some forward movement for the Raiders. Makes that 3rd and long a little bit easier. Last year, these Raiders faced off against Newton in round 1 of the playoffs. That's a tough draw. And it went just about as good as it sounds as Dotson struggles with the snap, but he's going to toss it nearly into the hands of a diving Bear. That was number 5, Maddox Vasquez, breaking up that low pass. Flag did come flying out there. Offense is staying out on the field, and it looks like that one will be on the Bears. Well, a first down's a first down, and the Raiders will pick it up from the 34-yard line. First down and 10. Dotson with the snap. Another flag. He's messing with them with that snap count. He's got the delayed snap on the clap. This one's going to move backwards 5 yards. It's tough when it works against your team. First and 15 for the Raiders. The handoff right up the middle. This one's going to get a few yards picked up before being stopped. Dylan Williams with the carry. He's going to pick up about 5, maybe get back to the original line of scrimmage. Looks like that's Wildell Markham. Maybe a yard short, so first and 15 becomes a 2nd and 11. Ball on the 34-yard line. Both these teams have just 2 timeouts left this half. And we will see another flag come out. Discipline becoming an issue here earlier on in this ball game. This one will be on West Rusk. Looks like a false start. They'll be moving backwards. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. All of a sudden, it's 2nd and 16, and a timeout will be called. About 5 flags in the last 4 plays. Fans hanging around at the Gladewater Stadium. We got funnel cakes from Funnel Cake Playground and some snow cones being sold here. Much needed on a night like this. It's still a little toasty out. Our Brett Anthony was out at the Gregg County Fair today, so I was unable to get a forecast from him. Nevertheless, here, let me tell you, it's good. It's good out there today. It's good time to be out at a football game. Dotson drops back to pass, looks over the middle, has his man over by the first down marker. That one will be completed for the first down. That's Cam Brown with the reception. The sophomore Cam Brown with the reception. Big kid out there, listed at 6'3", 165. Lengthy kid. The sophomore comes in clutch for the first down of the ball game organically from the Raiders. Didn't come by penalty. Raiders gonna stay with the momentum here. 1st and 10 with the snap. Handing off to Williams. Up the middle. That one's not gonna go far. Excuse me, not Williams. That is Hunter McCandles. I mean, what does this kid not do? He's listed as running back, linebacker, fullback, tight end, and receiver. So he's a football player out there. An offensive football player out there. Except for the linebacker part. 2nd and 9. Dotson takes the snap, fakes the handoff, slip screen to number 27 over the middle. Going to be good for about 3 or 4 yards. To Rhett Jackson. Kid's a freshman out there. Third and 5. Motion quickly on the outside. Here it is. There's a good first down from McCandles again. Driving up the middle, and that's 2 first downs in a row. We got ourselves a drive from the Raiders. 8 minutes left to go in the half. Band getting in position for their halftime show. We'll have 2 receivers down to the left, 1 to the right. Watch Cam Brown on the outside, number 15 in motion. Dotson drops back. He wants his man. He's got an open one over the middle. Just a little bit too much on that pass from Dotson. He had his man open downfield. Number 11, Gunnar Harp. Just a little bit too much on it for the completion. 2nd and 10, taking a shot on first down. Given that he beat his man, I wonder if these Raiders decide to take a few more shots downfield. This one's going to get handed off to Dylan Williams. It's going to pick up about 4. The clock will continue to run as we get back to 3rd down here, something the Raiders aren't unfamiliar with on this drive. Funnel cake smell starting to really kick up here. It smells fantastic here at Jack V. Murphy Stadium. Candles in motion. Handoff to Dylan Williams. It's going to be close. Late push from the offensive line. He might have got it. Whistles blow it dead. Let's see where they spot this one. They're going to say he held him. It's going to be 4th and close. Looks like the Raiders want to go for it. 4th and 2. Maybe we'll see if they can get a weird count here on the snap. Try to draw someone off sides. We're going to have a stop to this ball game for a second. I don't see a flag. .626 left to go in the half. It'll be 4th and 7 now. Looks like someone jumped offside. Dotson gonna get hit hard behind the line of scrimmage by number 10 on the Bears, who's fired up. That's Mason Burdo. Mason Burdo before the game picked up a scholarship for $1,005, as that will be the first turnover we've seen today. Gladewater Bears going to get the ball right back, right around midfield with 6:03 left to go in the ball game, or in the first half. Plenty of time for some work. Lights are on tonight. Dare I say we're under the lights here on CBS 19. So Gladewater's going to take over exactly on the 50. This one's going to the fullback who just charges through and finds a lot of open space ahead of him. That's number 22, Trey Watts, for the big-time pickup. He says first down, and he's right. Trey Watts, a big-time part of this offense. Got 21 carries for 133 yards coming into this ball game. There's at least 15 more. Gladewater, 1st and 10, near in the red zone. Hess keeping it himself with the pullback. He's going to inch towards the first down. It's going to be close on that one before getting ruled out. Looks like that one's going to advance the chains. Gladewater inside the red zone. 5:27 left to go in the first half. Watch Trey Watts in the fullback position. That one, the handoff's going to get a little bit weird there, but Achilles will get tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Sincere Cleaver with the technical sack there. 5:13 left to go. It'll be 2nd and 11. They lose a yard. Ball on the 18-yard line for the Bears. Achilles hands it off, keeps it to himself. He pulls it back, but he gets swallowed up. It's the same man with the sack, Sincere Cleaver, behind the line of scrimmage. He's getting behind that line quickly these last few plays. 4:30 left to go in the ball game, or in the first half. Third and 12 after the back-to-back sacks. Fakes the handoff, but there's a man waiting for him. This one's going to be a big-time loss. Look who it is. Number 7 again, Sincere Cleaver teaming up with Isaiah Vasquez. And a big-time loss. That one takes him to a yardage where it's pushing it for a field goal. I'm not sure if they're going to give that a shot. That'd be a 40-plus yard field goal. It looks like the offense is going to stay out there for 4th and 23. Fourth and 23, 3 minutes left to go in the half. The snap is fumbled. West Rusk falls on it. So the 4th down is a turnover regardless. Number 20 falls on it. That's Caden Landon. And the Raiders get some momentum with exactly 3 minutes left to go in the half. The ball's on the 30-yard line. The Raiders have 2 timeouts left to go. They also have 0 points. They're down 8-0. So here comes the Raiders. They want to get Dylan Williams warmed up here. Had 135 yards last game. It's been struggling against that big defensive line for the Bears so far tonight. And there he is, Williams lined up right next to Dotson, the quarterback. He's going to get the handoff. Tries to fight through the pile. He'll get dragged right back down again. That's number 10 meeting him at the line. Mason Burdo, the scholar. Second and 11 for the West Rusk Raiders. Trips up top for the wide receiver group. Snaps a little low. Dotson says, I want to take it myself. Charges upfield. Puts the stiff arm out there before getting met and shoved out of bounds by number 1, Aubrey Floyd. Aubrey Floyd playing both ends of the field today. Saw him on offense as a receiver. There he is picking up the tackle. Third and 6 for the Raiders. Dotson looking downfield. He has his man beat. Oh, nearly an incredible catch for number 11, who ran a beautiful route. Gunnar Harp laying out again while being open. That's the second time he's been open. Second time he's had to lay out to try to make a catch. Both times incomplete, but he ran a gorgeous out route there. Had his man beat. He was all alone, just the ball was a little bit in front of him. Looks like the Raiders are going to be looking to punt here with 2:19 left to go in the ball game. So that slow-moving offense from the Bears going to have just a few minutes to work with before the end of the half. Here's the punt. Another deep one from Cam Brown. This one's going to pin him all the way down by the 20-yard line. Inside the 20. That one's going to be pinning around the 15. So that's 2 real solid punts from Cam Brown on the Raiders. Like I said, kid's a sophomore. It is homecoming tonight for the Gladewater Bears. A few football players were in that homecoming court. Preston Adams, running back and linebacker, and Elijah Anthony. Haven't seen much from them tonight, but they were lining up with the flowers and their ladies before the game to get honored. 2 minutes and 7 seconds left to go in the first half. Here's the handoff up the middle. He's going to have a lot of yards to pick up here. He's going to get dragged down around the 40-yard line. That's number 22. Heard his name a few times. Trey Watts getting active here at the end of the half. Timeout called by the Bears. They're going to have 1 left. With 2:01 left to go, they are going to get a 2-minute warning timeout as well. Unless that's what this was and the clock is wrong. It's 2:01 left to play in the half. The first down and 10 for the Bears after this timeout. Nearly nighttime here in Gladewater, Texas. Second quarter moving a lot slower than the first. Gladewater matriculated down the field. That first opening drive that took up nearly 10 minutes of the ball game. By the time they were done, it was 2:30 left on the clock exactly in that first quarter. First down and 10. 2 minutes to go in the ball game. The handoff back to the same man that got him all those yards before. He's going to pick up another chunk. Trey Watts, before getting dragged down right around the first down marker, right around midfield. 1:42 left to go in the ball game. Second and 2. The handoff to the fullback is pulled back by Hess. He's going to get outside, make a few men miss, and drive upfield. How many West Rusk Raiders can he carry? He's still on his feet right around the 25-yard line before he's dragged down. Huge pickup with 1:11 left to go. First down and 10 for the Raiders. Clock stops because of the first down. When they get back to the ball, it will restart, so a little bit of a break there for Gladewater. There it is, that clock restarting. Just about a minute left to go in the half. Hess under center. Hands it off. That will be met right at the line. Carson Cooper with a small pickup, if any. 50 seconds left to go. Gladewater's going to take another timeout. So they'll get it on the 23. You know, it's tough to win when the night sky supports you like it is out here. It supports the Gladewater Bears. Look at that. Rocking the orange sunset. A gorgeous orange sunset. I brought it up a few times, but it's hard to beat this. Look at that. And I'm just happy the sun's going down because we were baking. We were sitting right there in that sun for a while before this game kicked off. The 2nd and 8 for when these Gladewater Bears get back out onto the field. 50 seconds to go in the half. Gladewater did receive, so they'll kick off to start off the second half of this ball game. Achilles with the screen to Aubrey. Aubrey jukes left, and then looks like the ball might have come out there. He picked up the first down, but looks like he fumbled it out of bounds. So Gladewater will stay in control. 42 seconds left to go in the half. Aubrey Floyd targeted a few times tonight. We've seen him pull in some big ones. Hess, the direct snap, going to get met right at the line by number 23 on the Raiders. That's Adrian Vargas, the senior. Listed at 6 foot 220, not the guy you want to get hit with. 20 seconds left to go. Gladewater gets it out to Aubrey, fakes the handoff to Trey Watts, tosses it out to Aubrey Floyd. It'll be a strong little pickup, but they got 6 seconds left to go in the game, or in the half. They get the snap off. 3, 2. They managed to get the spike down in time, looks like. No time left on the clock. Don't know if that was a quick or because of the clock was running, but it looks like the refs are going to say that's the half. So West Rusk able to stop the bleeding against the Gladewater Bears, who just marched downfield for 10 minutes in the opening drive of the ball game, score, but not much else later on. West Rusk not able to get much going offensively. We saw one productive drive out of them where they were able to piece together a few first downs. But now, here comes halftime. They're down by 8, to the Gladewater Bears, so a manageable score. But Gladewater not looking dominant here tonight on CBS 19 Stream Game of the Week. Like I said, I'm Jimmy Searfoss. We're going to head into halftime now. We'll see you on the other side of this ball game. We're going to have the bands take the field. We'll see you after the break. All right, and welcome back to Jack V. Murphy Stadium, where the West Rusk Raiders got the ball back and got busy with a deep pass down the sideline to Cam Brown, who was able to haul it in quickly for a first down here. Something that came at a premium for the West Rusk Raiders in the first half of this ball game. They were struggling to move the ball downfield, came back firing. They're only down 8. And here's the handoff to Dylan Williams, who's going to shake off the first tackle and make it through. He had a lot of open grass ahead of him before he got wrapped up by number 2 on the Bears. That's Destin Sheridan saving some points for the Bears. Was a slower first half in every kind of way until you talk about clock management. Those Gladewater Bears were able to wind it down and wind it down fast, especially in that first quarter. They ate up a massive chunk on that first drive of the ball game here on the CBS 19 stream game of the week. So glad to be back out here on what's been a gorgeous night here in Gladewater, USA. The sun was hitting hard earlier, not going to lie. It was kicking my butt a little bit, but some clouds hopped in the way, and then it found its way down behind those East Texas piney wood trees, and it's been a very pleasant, clear night here at the football stadium, one of the nicest football stadiums in East Texas, I will say, Jack V. Murphy Stadium, named after the coach that led to a lot of winning going down here in Gladewater, as we have a timeout earlier on in this second half. Gladewater looking to be 3-0 for the first time in a minute. It was the Gladewater Bears, the West Rusk Raiders that they played around this same game last year. West Rusk actually lost that game. Looking to get some revenge this time. That last year's game was in West Rusk. This one in Gladewater. Dotson gets it to Dylan Williams, who's going to take it upfield and find some open grass. Spins free, almost breaks free. That was actually Hunter McCandles, excuse me. The man who can do it all, listed as a running back, a linebacker, a fullback, a tight end, and a wide receiver. This kid does just about anything. He can plug and play anywhere. Watch Cam Brown at the bottom of the screen. Dotson looking up. He's got the fade. A lot of contact there. He wanted his man, number 11. He's targeted him on the deep balls a few times. Gunnar Harp. Lots of contact between him and number 5, the cornerback, Maddox Vasquez. Refs keep the flag in their pocket. It'll be 2nd and 10. 3 receivers out for the Raiders, 2 at the bottom of your screen, 1 at the top. Judson Dotson struggled to hit his man a few times tonight. Going to move to the left side, hands it off. That one's going to get met at the line. A lot of black shirts there to meet the Raider, number 10 in the mix of it all. That's Mason Burdo. Smart kid that Burdo is. Got himself a scholarship earlier tonight, as they do hand those off on these Thursday night ball games. Make sure you're sticking around on this CBS 19 coverage. We got a lot going on the next 24 hours. Tomorrow we'll be live from Chapel Hill as they take on White House. Dotson over the middle, hits his man. That one's right in stride. Number 11, there he is, finally getting that connection with Gunnar Harp. The Raiders knocking on the goal line here. 9:32 left to go in the third quarter. Dotson keeping the tempo. Hands it off to McCandles. Tries to sneak his way through before getting swallowed up. Looks like that was Jacoby Crosby with the tackle. West Rusk will make some substitutions. Number 21 making his way onto the field. That's Dylan Williams, one of their top running backs, one of their top offensive weapons. Put up over 130 yards last game. Dotson fakes the handoff, rolls out to his right, has a man on him, gets the pass off. Not a enough to get cradled in. That was McCandles that dropped that one. Probably could have caught it, but Dotson was moving quickly. He had a man on his back basically the entire time. Looks like that was number 11 from the Bears that was tracking him down, a Marion Minter. 3rd down and 7, 8:48 left to go in this third quarter. Jalen Gardner makes his way onto the field for the Raiders tonight. Haven't called his name yet. Raiders spread it out, fumble the snap. He's going to get hit hard. That's Dotson that got hit hard. We'll see a flag come out. The snap was fumbled by the quarterback. Let's see what the white cap says. They don't like the block, and it's going to come from the Raiders. Chop block, it's going to move them back a little bit. Saw some coaches advocating on social media that they want the chop block back. But this time it's going to make it 3rd down and 20 for the Raiders. We're running with 3 receivers. Judson Dotson. To the left of him is Dylan Williams, that running backer, linebacker combo of a player. He's going to fake the handoff. Dotson wants Cam Brown in the corner of the end zone. He went up. He came down with it. What a grab, man on man, 50-50 ball. He said, go up and get it, young man. He got it. Cam Brown, the punter, the wide receiver, the sophomore, 6'3", using all of it to go get that ball. All of a sudden, we got an interesting ball game. The Raiders going to go for 2 here. Cam Brown still in the ball game. Dotson, Dylan to behind him. Fake the handoff. McCandles in motion. He wants it over the middle. It's deflected, but into the hands of a blue helmet. That's number 15. We saw him come on earlier, Jalen Gardner. All of a sudden, we got a tied-up ball game here in Jack V. Murphy Stadium. West Rusk coming out at halftime, firing. This time connecting. Looks like maybe quarterback Judson Dotson needed some time to settle in before starting to hit his man. And quickly, we have 8 points on the board for the Raiders. Dotson's had some completion percentage issues all season long. Last game, he threw for 42 attempts, completed 16 of them, just about a pass completion percentage of 38. I tell you what, though, he can hurl it. He's having no problems throwing the ball. It's the receptions that has been the issue for him. The balls have been pretty, though. So all tied up here in Gladewater, 8-8, 8:38 left to go in the third quarter. Let me fix this for you. And the Bears, for the first time, will get the ball in this half. So for the first time tonight, West Rusk will kick off after a score. We've seen them go onside a few times. This one's going to go back out to around the 25. It'll be dropped on catch, but their man will be swallowed up. That will be Carson Cooper fielding that one around the 35-yard line. And that's where the Bears will start off this drive. both these teams kind of in rebuilding phases. Both of them had just okay last year's. West Rusk made the playoffs. Gladewater did not. With the handoff, here is Trey Watts getting shifty with it before getting wrapped up beyond the first down marker, so that one will advance the chains. Trey Watts been real effective for those Bears tonight. You know, it's either going to be him or Carson Cooper, and tonight it's been a Trey Watts kind of night. Both of them get the majority of the touches at that running back position for the Gladewater Bears. Big-time run-heavy team. We've seen Achilles Hess pass a few times in that first quarter. This one's going to get kept by Hess himself. He's been running that option all night long. Keeps good eyes downfield before finding a lane up around the 30-yard line. Another big chunk play for the Bears. All of a sudden, the Bears are starting to move their way down the field. Trey Watts tried to hand that ball to the ref. Ref didn't get some hands on it. Watts said, "Hey, that's not my fault. I hit you in the hands." And here it is, that Bears offense taking its time. Achilles Hess gets back to the sidelines and talks to the offensive coordinator after every single play. Here's the snap, gets it to Watts, tucks and runs. That's McCandles filling one of the 8 positions that he plays with the tackle, possibly saving some points for the West Rusk Raiders. And how about, you know, sometimes you got to give yourself pats on the back in this world, and I haven't said West Rusk Raiders once tonight so far. I'll give myself a pat on the back there, because that's a hard one to say. Our Dan Millay knows. We've been struggling with it all week long. And watch, I'm going to do it. 7 minutes left to go, 2nd and 4. This one's going to the fullback. Oh, nope, Hess pulled it back. That for a small pickup. Not quite enough for the first down, so it'll be 3rd down and short. It'll be 3rd down and 3 for the West Rusk, or for the Gladewater Bears offense. Ooh, that one's pushing forward, but I don't know if they got it. It'll be 4th and 1. Looks like the offense will stay out on the field for the Bears. .538 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Hess under center. All the big men around this line of scrimmage. This one's actually going to go to the fullback. He's going to get more than he bargained for before getting dragged down around the 10-yard line. Look at the bowling ball making his way through the pile. That was number 28, Jeremiah Flanagan. Seen his name called a few times tonight. We'll get a timeout called by the West Rusk Raiders. Trying to manage some of this clock. .512 left to go in the 3rd quarter. One safety back for the blue helmets. Achilles Hess. Been anything but an Achilles heel tonight for the Bears. We'll see a flag. West Rusk is pointing at the Bears. Hess is shaking his head. Looks like this one's going to come back. False start on the offense. be 1st and 13. Hess hands it off to Watts. Watts getting a little shifty. Going to get brought down around the 8-yard line, maybe around the 6, 7-yard line. Second and 8 to go. 4 minutes left to play in the third. Hess. The fumble. Ball's on the ground. West Rusk falls on it. West Rusk says they got it. There was a miscommunication on the handoff. Ball ended up on the turf. Big time turnover for Gladewater as momentum swings back in the direction of West Rusk, who's coming off of a long scoring drive to open up the half. Gladewater was knocking on the door there. Now possession switches. Tough loss there. And the Raiders will take over from the 10-yard line, their own 10-yard line. They got a long way to go. Receivers spread out. Dylan Dotson wants his man again downfield. He gets dragged down. Major pass interference there as the cornerback basically tackled number 11, Gunnar Harp. We've seen him tackled on those deep balls a few times. There's been a lot of contact in the past, but that one was undeniable. He dragged down Harp on that play. So it'll be a first down for the Raiders. As they come set, I do want to talk a little bit about one of the bigger matchups from this week. Longview heading out to Dallas to take on South Oak Cliff. That's one I've been waiting all offseason for. It's going to be happening in Kincaid Stadium as Dotson has the sweep motion in this one. He's going to hand it off to Dylan Williams for a small gain there. The pile pushing forward a little bit, but he'll pick up around 2 or 3. But Longview getting a big-time test. They've been tested a bit. Yeah, they played Lufkin, they played Marshall earlier on in the season, but now they got a tough South Oak Cliff team who's been taking on 6A squads all over the state of, or the city of Dallas. They open it up against North Shore, beat them. Then they play Duncanville as Dotson looks over the middle. He's got Cam Brown, who can't quite wrap his hands around it. He's going to bobble it. Probably should have caught that one. Would have been a nice solid pickup of around 15. But South Oak Cliff, that's a tough squad. Both those two teams played last year. They squeaked out a narrow come-from-behind win late in the ballgame against the Lobos. Y'all remember that one. It was a great one. I remember watching that score closely. Cam Brown targeted again. This time gets both hands on it and able to keep his feet in bounds. Nice little play there. Way to keep his feet inside. Runs a nice route. Gets his man beat. Dotson, good ball. First down for the West Rusk Raiders. Longview likely again without John King, head coach John King. Recently coming off of a surgery for his mouth cancer diagnosis. That run is going to go up the middle, but not far for Dylan Williams. I talked to WFAA's Mike Leslie earlier on in the week. He told me a little bit about this South Oak Cliff team. He said they're a little bit better than they were last year. This time in front of their home crowd, but he also said sometimes that home crowd doesn't necessarily show out. So we could see an even Lobo crowd because we know they like to travel. Dylan Williams trying to get along the outside. This time he does. Big time hit from a black shirt, but not after a first down for the Raiders. Two minutes and 12 seconds left to go in the third. Ball on the 47 of Gladewater. Ball handed off to Dylan Williams. Looks to truck through a man. He's staying on his feet. Hit the hit stick on that one. Did not get brought down after a few Bears, and we are going to have an injury timeout. One Bear is down grabbing his leg. He is up, though, walking on his own power. It's number 34 for the Bears. Dion Patton. Possible cramp situation. It is hot and humid here tonight. 1:48 left to go in the third. You know, if you look, a year ago, this Gladewater Bear resume would be very impressive with wins over Dangerfield and New Diana, but those teams just haven't been the same this year. Another massive contact, but interception for number 5. Well, I don't know if that one's going to stay up. A lot of contact there from his man who threw his hands up, the intended receiver. Number 11, we heard his name called all night, Gunnar Harp. It was him against number 5, Maddox Vasquez. Like we have seen all night, it's been chippy, but that one, big time bump before the interception. We'll see if this one stands. Both teams are allowed to have equal opportunity to the ball, and this one will stay in the possession of the Raiders. Dotson's going to take no time, get right to the motion. First down and 10, hand it off to McCandles, who's going to plow through the pile for a little bit and pick up about 4 or 5 yards. 2nd and 5. This play will take us to the end of the quarter. Dotson, McCandles, bumping around the outside. Gets through one man before one gets to his legs. Going to fall forward for the first down, though. And the clock will stop, so it actually will not take us to the end of the half. First and 10 in the red zone for the Raiders. Dotson to Williams this time. Tries to get low through the pile. He hasn't had a ton of success going through tonight. Both teams all tied up. Gladewater just able to get all the men off the field before that play is called. Small pickup there for the Raiders. Now we will get to the end of the quarter. One more to go in this all tied up ball game, but the Raiders looking to change that. We head to the fourth. I'll be right back. All right, welcome to the fourth quarter. A lot of times in these high school ball games, sometimes it's out of the hands in this one, but this one's all tied up at 8, and the Raiders looking to score here. Dotson keeps it himself for the first time tonight, plowing through. He's going to go down just before the crosses the plane into the end zone. We'll have 2nd and 1. The Raiders looking to take their first lead of the ball game tonight. Late in the ball game. It's the fourth quarter. Dotson hands it off to Dylan Williams, who's met early, hit early, was able to be brought down in the green. Maybe lost a yard on that one. West Rusk looking to jump to 2-1 and take down the Fab 15 ranked number 8 Gladewater Bears. Williams fighting through the pile into the end zone. Touchdown, West Rusk Raiders, and they take the lead for the first time tonight. And now Gladewater on their heels. Unique formation here for West Rusk. Looks like they will go ahead and kick the extra point. Nearly blocked, but that one is up and good. West Rusk 15, Gladewater Bears 8. Interesting development late in this ball game. West Rusk looking to get a little streak going. They dropped that first opening game, but it was to Malakoff, the state championship semifinalists from last year. They're going to go on a 2-game home streak against Tatum and Elkhart. Tatum looked really good earlier last week against Dangerfield. Next week, though, for the Gladewater Bears, they got Spring Hill and Jefferson. Spring Hill, I believe, beat them last year. Yes, looks like Spring Hill beat Gladewater last year, and Jefferson, one of the top teams in 3A football, operating on the border of Texas and Louisiana. They're always good. Got a heck of a quarterback down there. That one could be interesting depending on how this game goes with Gladewater. That one will take place in Jefferson. After that, Gladewater's got Sabine, Liberty Ilo, Tatum, and Atlanta, and White Oak. Liberty Ilo, an interesting game on that schedule. We're still figuring them out, just like New Diana, just like Dangerfield. Some teams struggling out of the gate early on in the season, as this week kickoff is going to get fielded by number 1, Aubrey. Floyd off the bounce. So Gladewater has 10:45 left in the ball game to get downfield. They might just take all of it. We saw them do it on the very first drive of the ball game. If that were the case, they wanted the extra point to tie it. They could also go for 2. We haven't seen them kick the ball tonight outside of kickoffs. Jermaine Lewis looking to start 3-0. It's the head coach of the Gladewater Bears, an East Texas local. This one's going to get handed off to Trey, who's had a lot of success tonight. Didn't get it there. Trey Watts brought down right around the line of scrimmage. We'll see if he gets some forward advancement there, but forward progression. Looks like they'll keep it at 2nd and 10. No, they'll give it 2nd and 9. Trey Watts listed as a running back and defensive back. He's been hovering around all sides of the field tonight. This one handed right back to Watts, who's got a few lanes, takes the outside one. He's hitting the gas, makes a cut. He's got one man on his back, dragged down around the 20-yard line. Big time pickup for Watts. That's why you've seen his name called all night long. Not the first time he's done it. It won't be the last. Gladewater right back in position. They're knocking on the door. 9:50 left to go. They're gonna do it. They're gonna do it quick. Now they got down early in the second half. They got downfield, had a miscommunication. Ball ended up on the ground off of a handoff. Can't make a mistake this late in the game like that. This one's going right back to Watts. Big opening on the right side. He's gonna look for it, but gonna get dragged down by number 2, Tucker Hethco on the West Rusk Raiders. So Watts is going to take a quick breather. In comes the other big-time back, Carson Cooper. Or Copper. Oh, man. It's Carson Copper. I've been saying this wrong all game long. My apologies to Mr. Cooper, or Copper. 9 minutes left to go in the game. Copper, outside. Makes a big-time spin before being brought down. Actually, you know what? It is Cooper. That would explain the large amount of shirts to my right of the family that are wearing number 21 shirts that say Coop on them. I would assume that is not for Copper. That is for Cooper. I got 2 rosters, each of them saying a different name. I'm going to go all out and use my inferencing skills to say that Cooper is the right name. Well, Cooper and Watts are both out there for the Bears. Watts is going to get the handoff, going straight through. He had a lot of head of steam before he went through the line and just plowed through it. Kid's been like smoke through a keyhole all game long, making his way through the small gaps on this offensive line. First down, they're going to be on the 6-yard line. First and goal for the Gladewater Bears. Achilles Hess, don't be surprised if he pulls it and runs himself. This one's going to go to Watts, but he'll be met with a wall of white shirts. They shove him backwards. Led by number 6, Drake Mills, been in the mix of everything all night long for the Raiders. $7:19 left to go in the ball game. This one's going to the fullback. It's Cooper. Cooper's in there in the end zone for 6. Gladewater responds. 7:05 left to go in the ball game. Business as usual on the Cooper family side of the stadium. It'll be interesting to see how they approach this extra point situation. Looks like they're going to kick it. Big kick for number 8. Nearly blocked, and it is! Huge block, and is going to get picked up. Open field ahead of him. He's getting tracked down, though. Aubrey manages to wrap him up and save the extra 2 points to head in the West Rusk division. Excuse me. Grafton Morgan tracked him down a long slide. Aubrey Floyd. But they saved 2 points for the Raiders, or from the Raiders. So now Gladewater still down 14-15. Massive block there. And that's something that just drives you wild as a coach. You march downfield, you respond, you get momentum back in the ball game, but it's special teams that always seems to come up when it matters most. In times like this, when you just got to tie up the ball game, stay in the fight, special teams need to remain special. So 14-15. West Rusk is going to get the ball back. 7:05 left to go in the quarter, and they might give the Gladewater Bears a little bit of their own medicine here and start eating some of this clock down. Gladewater, or West Rusk, looks like they're preparing for an onside kick. Have just one man back there. Deep. Hands crew. Shallow. Here's the kickoff. This one's going to go deep. It'll be fielded around the 19-yard line. That's where we will go out of bounds. So all ball game long, Gladewater has led for 3 straight quarters in what's been the lowest scoring game for the Bears so far. And last week they put up 43 against New Diana. The week before that they put up 21, not far off from where they are right now. But still, the offense slow moving today. West Rusk, on the other hand, put up 14 in week 1, 22 in week 2. So both teams on pace for just about where they've been all year long. Raiders spreading it out. They're going to hand it off, though. There's Williams. Hasn't found much success up the middle all game long. Picked up a few yards there. And the clock's going to keep on running. 2nd down and 4. 4 receivers out there for the Raiders. Dotson hands this one off. Williams bouncing along the outside before trying to go up the middle. Flag comes in. He's going to go down around the 1st down marker. We'll see what this flag.
Okay, enough with the parking garage. This isn't all the president's men.
It doesn't matter, wherever they met back then.
The biggest problem is we don't know what the document is.
Oh, thank you so much. I wasn't sure.
Okay, you know what? Don't get snippy with me because you're annoyed with your sister.
What could she possibly be baking now? Hasn't she already made everything?
Let's focus.
Okay.
We have the timeline from Julian's key card.
Yes, we do. And I have to figure out where he actually went after he took the documents.
Yeah. And what about motive?
Impressing his dad, the money, the mysterious $500,000 he used to buy the brownstone.
Conjecture, counselor?
Oh, batting the hatches. Hurricane Bitsy's making landfall.
You have 2 types of sage. Tell me you eat out of that garden every night.
Oh, yeah, we do. We plop right down in the dirt and pop tomatoes.
Well, you should. I always say, biggest trick the devil ever pulled is called farm to table. And I'll tell you what, I wish I was his business partner. Muffins,
Oh, after I get home tonight, as a reward.
Maddie has a big class action starting today.
Well, I'm sure your job's real important if you decided to move cross country and uproot Alfie.
Well, as a matter of fact,
It's able to put together a few drives. Couldn't say the same for the first half. It was all Gladewater. I'm Jimmy Searfoss on call tonight. 5:30 left to go as play will resume here. 3rd and 5. Dotson drops back, hesitates, tries to toss it off, but nearly gets it picked off. Number 6 on the Bears, Jacoby Crosby, gets both hands on it. Wasn't able to haul it in, though. I don't think he was expecting the quarterback to just kind of pitch it to him. But the defense gets the job done. They will force the 4th down. West Rusk will punt. Cam Brown comes on to punt for the Raiders. He's been a great leg all night long. Nobody back deep for the Bears. Cam gets this one down. Huge Raider bounces. This one's going to come around the 25-yard line, 24-yard line. Gladewater's got some work to do. Down 1, 5:15 left to go in the 4th quarter. This is just night 1 of week 3 of football. Can you believe that? We're already 3 weeks into the season, man. Hard to believe that. But later on tomorrow, in just about 24 hours, we will have our show at 10 o'clock in studio. But before that, we will be over for White House versus Chapel Hill. Chapel Hill is going to be rocking tomorrow as the revival of the Lake Tyler rivalry will be taking place. White House versus Chapel Hill. We've been covering both teams all week long. Our player of the week comes out of Chapel Hill, DeMarcion Blaylock. He's been an absolute stud for the Bulldogs, as this one's going to get pitched out to Trey Watts for no gain. But Blaylock, 8 touchdowns in 2 games. That's a pretty good ratio. He's doing it receiving. He's doing it rushing. He's doing it returning punts, returning kicks. This kid is doing magic with the ball in his hands, and he's coming off of a season where he broke his collarbone. Talked to head coach Jeff Reardon. He said it's been a big-time driver for him, that he didn't have a junior year, essentially. Came back a little bit for the playoffs, but missed a good chunk of that. Was a dangerous sophomore for him, but now senior year, it's been all him. As Watts gets the handoff, manages a few more yards than the first time on that one. He's going to get around the 5-yard line, or get about 5 yards up. DeMarcion Blaylock, though, remember the name. Calling him D1 DeMarcion. He wants to go play at a D1 school. He mentioned it a few times in his interview with me. White House coming off of a tough game. I'm going to be honest with you. I showed up to their game against Kilgore, and they were down 21-0, and it was the second. A lot of scoring, not a lot coming from the home team in that one. Watts makes a few man miss, gets airborne for a second. I don't think it was enough to get him past the sticks there. Gladewater's got a close 4th down. Here's a big-time play for the Bears. 3:33 left to go in the ball game. This is one of the most important plays of the entire game. Hess comes onto the field after getting the play. Look for Watts. They've been going to Watts in these big-time scenarios. The Raiders pack the box. Hess to Watts. Ooh, he's stopped before the first down, and West Rusk holds on. That'll be a turnover on down for the Bears. West Rusk back in control with 3:06 left to go in the ball game. Raiders band waving the flashlights on their phone. You never know, there is still a lot of time left to go. I mean, both teams have 2 timeouts, plus the stop at the 2-minute warning. 3 timeouts on the board, but you got to get the ball back if you are Gladewater. Tough break there for the Bears, who have been pushing forward all game long. Raiders take control on the 34. Dotson, high snap, hands it off to Williams. Williams makes a few men miss, but not going to get further than the line of scrimmage. Second and 10 for the Raiders. This was a big-time game, upset game if West Rusk is able to pull it off. Gladewater just broke through into the top 10 on our Fab 15. They were listed at 8 this week. Williams taking his time to find the hole. Sorry, this McCandless taking his time to find the gap between the lines there before shooting up for about 5. Tomorrow, our game of the week, Lindale versus Van. That's going to be a real good one. I'm excited to see who takes that one, who loses that perfect score. Van, not super familiar with them, but I am familiar with those Lindale Eagles who showed up and showed out in our first stream game of the week. Lindale at Hallsville. They were able to run all over that bigger Hallsville school. Million Johnson, the big-time running back out of Lindale. Remember that name. You'll hear it a lot, probably tomorrow. We'll have the highlights from an interview with the player or coach, 10 and 10:35. Sure you're tuning in on our CBS 19 and CBS 19 app. We got more coverage than anyone here on the CBS 19 circles. We're glad you've joined us here tonight. 2:44 left to go in this one. 15-14. Raiders just barely leading as Dotson's going to squeak out after pulling it. He beats a few men, walks the tight line before stepping out of bounds. Big-time first down for the Raiders. The clock does stop, though. 2:37 left to go in the ball game. Dotson claps for the pass. Whistle's going to come out. Well, for West Rusk, they got Tatum and then Elkhart, Winona, New Diana, Troop, Buffalo, and then ARP. ARP's an interesting matchup there. New Diana does operate in a different division as the Gladewater Bears. Gladewater is Division 1. West Rusk is Division 2, so they are a little bit smaller in that 3A classification. ARP, though, off to a hot start. We're keeping a close eye on the ARP Tigers, home of DeMarvion Overshone, and if you drive into that city, you'll see a sign that says so. ARP has a big-time game this week. We're keeping a close eye on them. They started off this year undefeated and just absolutely demolishing people. They jumped pretty highly into our Fab 15 poll this last week. back to play here. 1st and 10. Dotson hands it off to Dylan Williams. Not going to go far, but he doesn't need to. They're within field goal range and winding the clock down. .2:15 left to go in the ball game. West Rusk in no hurry to get started. In fact, they went ahead and just wound it all the way down to that 2-minute warning. Well, the Bears needing something big to take place. Turnover, perhaps. We don't have analytics here at CBS 19, but if they were to be pointing in one direction, West Rusk would have a large chance to win this ball game. Gladewater, like I said, next week it faces off against Spring Hill in a revenge opportunity. Spring Hill could beat them last year. They're going to look to bounce back a little bit. Spring Hill didn't win a lot of games last year. They did win a baseball state title. That's a little bit different, though. 2nd down and 8. Raiders hand it off to Williams. Goes left, goes right, wrapped up by Cooper. Flag comes out. Williams, another short run where the pile drags him down. For those interested in the other Thursday night game, Packers are currently leading the Washington Commanders 17-3. Packers, close your ears, Cowboys fans, did just add Micah Parsons to the ball game as we take a short injury break. Looks like we're getting another cramp here. Trainer stretching him out. Not a very action-packed night so far from Jaden Daniels, 11 for 18, 61 yards. Hasn't done a ton with his legs. 3 carries for 14. Krosky Merritt, 4 carries for 17 yards. He had a touchdown last week. Been a little quiet this week. Michael Parsons will do that to you. Jordan Love, though, 16 for 24, 265 passing yards and a touchdown. .146 left to go in this ball game. Those Raiders just barely leading the Gladewater Bears, but with 1:46, Gladewater's kind of knocking on the door here. They're going to do what they can to just wear this clock down. However, it is interesting. It is 3rd and 16. You get the stop here. Worst case scenario, they kick the field goal, making it 18-14. You get probably at most a minute left to go, maybe more. So there is plus Gladewater does have, actually no, they have no timeouts left. That makes things tough. That does make things tough. Injury's going to slowly walk off the field here. Going to wait for him to make his way all the way to the sidelines. Dotson, third and 16. Takes the snap, takes it himself, nearly wrapped up immediately for being brought down for maybe a 1-yard gain. Clock's going to keep on running, and they're going to take every second they can. 4th down and 16. We are about to cross over the 1-minute mark. Snow cones have wrapped up here at Jack V. Murphy Stadium for those wondering. I know everyone was super excited about a snow cones earlier, and they will take the delay of game penalty. Or they'll take the final timeout. I guess both teams, or the Raiders had one timeout available to them. They took it. Well, it's been a tale of 2 halves for the Raiders of West Rusk here. Nothing coming out of that first half. Immediately opening up the second half with a score. It's just really been about that quarterback, Judson Dotson, getting a little settled in, started hitting his man, started making some plays, especially with some downfield men connecting with Cam Brown. Dotson drops back, looks for Brown as we speak. That one intercepted but out of bounds. We've seen Cam make a play on a play like that once tonight on the opposite end of the field. It did go for a touchdown, but Gladewater will take over here with 58.6 seconds to go. Now, we've seen them rip off some big-time plays tonight. It's not out of the realm of possibility that they can do it again. They'll be taking over from the 21-yard line, their own 21-yard line, with, as like I predicted, just around a minute left to go. We got 58.6 seconds left in the game. As much as they want to say they should they're probably looking to pass, but they've been running the ball and ripping off chunks there all night. But here we are seeing a 3-receiver set, trips down on the lower half of your screen. Achilles Webb getting some pressure early. He's immediately going to throw that one out of bounds, wasting no time. And the flags will come out there. We'll see some intentional grounding. .53 seconds left to go in the ball game. So he didn't waste a ton of time, but he did back the team up quite a bit. 1st and 10 becomes 1st and a lot longer than 10. Second and 21. Trips receivers once more. They were all just on go routes last time. We'll see if they do that again this time. Clock is stopped. Hess is talking to his receiver. That's number 0 he's talking to, Kason Harris. Achilles Hess, low snap, immediately going up the middle and way too high and in the hands of the man that's been targeted so many times on the other side of the field, but they're saying it was low. They're saying incomplete pass. Gunnar Harp did not catch that ball, according to the official. That one will make it 3rd down and 21 instead of 1st and 10 for the West Rusk Raiders. Raider fans not happy with that call. They thought this had this one wrapped up, and with a bow they could head on home. Not quite the case. So 38.9 left to go in the ball game. Achilles Hess. The trips has gone to the other side of the field. Hess goes to the screen. There's his man we just brought up earlier. Picks up around 10, Kaysen Harris. 33 left to go. 4th down, and it's going to be around 10. He went out of bounds, so the clock does stop. Still a long way to go. Just about be 4th and 8. Remember, a first down does stop the clock. Hess looking downfield, looking for Aubrey, and that one will be high. Aubrey Floyd's had a few high passes thrown his way tonight. He's been punished on quite a few of them. Hasn't come down with quite a bit of them, but over the middle, he's been hit hard, as that one's going to be a turnover on down, and the Raiders will take possessions. People will start clearing out here of Jack V. Murphy Stadium as the writing becomes ever so clear on the wall for the Gladewater Bears, who will pick up their first L of the season just by 1. Raiders coming up massive on special teams to block that extra point as they get into victory formation here, and they wind out the clock. Well, it shows you just how special teams needs to be and how you need to win on all facets, all 3 parts of the game. Gladewater controlled most of it early on. They dominated the first half of this ball game. Took 10 off the clock. They were controlling the clock early on. Went out to an 8-point lead. Had a few mental lapses, a few big-time turnovers in the end zone, and it comes up and bites them when they weren't able to get as much points on the board as they needed. They came up with just 14 today. That's a season low for the number 8 Gladewater Bears. And the West Rusk Raiders, talk about offensive adjustments. They came out of the half firing. Quarterback settled down. They were able to put some points on the board, and it was just enough to squeak out the win over Gladewater. Some takeaways, some good takeaways. Big-time game from Trey Watts for the Bears, though. Gladewater will go on to play Spring Hill next week. That will take place in Longview. West Rusk, they got Tatum. That will be an interesting one. Tatum, similar offense to Gladewater. Run heavy, triple option. Looked good against Dangerfield last week. They got a big test this week against Newton, I believe. Y'all, make sure you tune in tomorrow. Guys, we have a lot more football here on CBS 19. Game of the week, Lindale Van will be at Chapel Hill versus White House to talk about it. And then we have highlights from all over East Texas, Beast Texas. The Piney Woods are ours. We'll see y'all tomorrow night. I'm Jimmy Searfoss. Thank y'all for tuning in to our stream game of the week. Gladewater falls to the West Rusk Raiders. Almost did it. 14-15. Y'all have a good night.